Okay, so when most people hear artificial intelligence, the mind jumps to, well, frankly, overwhelming stuff, right? Massive server farms, really complex code, budgets that sound more like GDPs. It just feels like AI is this powerhouse tool, but strictly for the Googles and Amazons of the world.
Yeah, that's the common picture.
Yeah,
Powerful, but kind of out of reach.
exactly. But, looking through our sources for today, it feels like that picture is getting seriously outdated fast. The real question we're digging into, and it's super practical, is this. If you're running a small business, maybe a local shop, a consultancy, a trade service, how do you actually use AI? Like right now. And crucially, without needing a computer science degree.
Oh.
So we've zeroed in on this growing trend. The 1.1 AI knowledge share session. It's basically a short, really focused 30-minute chat. And it's specifically built for small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs, as that first step.
That's spot on. Our mission here, for you listening, is really to unpack this and show that AI isn't just more accessible now, it's a completely different ballgame. We're talking about a genuine shortcut, a way for SMBs to get into targeted automation, boost efficiency, save costs. And the core question is, how can just half an hour, really lead to an actual plan you can use, not just theory?
Right, not just vague ideas.
Exactly. For ages, the hurdles were huge. Time, money, the sheer complexity of it all. But the sources are clear. The game has shifted towards immediate, tangible results. Bottom line impact.
Okay, so let's dive into that shift then, because for years, like you said, it wasn't just a high barrier. It felt almost impossible for a small shop. What changed? Why now?
Well, it's interesting. It's not just that things got cheaper, though they did. It's more about abstraction, making it simpler. This whole AI as a service, AS thing is key. Think of it like, well, you don't build your own power plant to get electricity, right?
Or you just pay the bill.
Exactly. Businesses aren't building AI models from scratch anymore. They're subscribing to platforms. These platforms do all the heavy lifting, the complex stuff in the background. They have these really user-friendly interfaces, drag and drop sometimes, pre-built templates.
Okay. So the tech side is hidden away.
Pretty much. It means a local business owner, someone non-technical, can set up something quite sophisticated, say, for customer service emails or tracking stock in, minutes, not months of consulting. And the cost. It's usually a subscription, so it scales. Much more affordable.
That analogy, the power plant versus the utility bill, that really clarifies it, and it explains why we're seeing such rapid interest. The data seems to back that up, too.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't some, fringe concept anymore. We saw that 2023 Forrester report.
Yeah.
It found that 58% of SMBs, it's a huge chunk, are already planning or actively exploring AI.
58%. Wow.
Yeah. And they're looking at specific things. Handling customer queries faster, making inventory less of a headache, automating marketing stuff. It tells you AI isn't a nice-to-have down the road. It's becoming, well, almost a necessity to compete now.
That number, 58%, really hits home. It suggests a real sense of urgency, maybe even a fear of missing out, which brings us right back to this 30-minute session idea. If the tools are there, the challenge is showing the non-tech owner how to actually use them effectively. So, okay, let's really unpack this session. What exactly happens in that half hour? And, what stops it being just a sales pitch?
Good question.
The sources really emphasize the structure. It's one session, just 30 minutes. That's it. And the big thing is you walk in needing zero AI knowledge, none. It has to be super accessible, really beginner-friendly, and the advice, practical, no tech speak.
Right, and you touched on a key point. How do you deliver real value so quickly?
Yeah.
It comes down to preparation and focus, extreme focus. Think of it like automation triage.
Okay, triage, like in an ER.
Sort of. The specialist isn't teaching theory. They're matching a very specific problem, usually a frequent, annoying task, to an existing, ready-made solution. Often, before the session even starts, they ask the business owner, what's the one task you absolutely hate doing? The one that eats up your time.
So they narrow it down beforehand, not trying to boil the ocean.
Exactly. It's not about automating everything. It's about fixing the most annoying, time-consuming leak first.
Got it.
So in those 30 minutes, the expert does basically three things. Quick diagnosis, suggests a tool or two, and sketches out a simple action plan. The diagnosis is just confirming, okay, yes, this task, like processing invoices or sorting emails, follows clear rules. It's perfect for automation. No time wasted on vague strategy.
Straight to the point.
Straight to it. Then they'll say, okay, for that problem, Tool A or Tool B are probably your best bet. They're affordable, easy to use. No deep dive into how the AI works. It's about connecting the owner's pain. I spend hours scheduling appointments with a specific tool that can fix that by next week. It skips the usual long consultancy discovery phase.
That makes it sound much more concrete. Less like a consultation, more like a targeted fix.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Moving from the how to the what. What does this actually look like for a small business? Give us some real-world examples of this automation in action.
Yeah, the practical side.
We looked for examples that really show the kind of admin burden that swamps small business owners, the non-tech stuff. The sources had some great ones. Let's take a local bakery. The owner's passionate about baking, about customers, not about spreadsheets.
Right. For the bakery, automation isn't about robots kneading dough. It's about getting rid of the boring stuff, like inventory checks and reordering supplies.
So how does that work?
Well, the specialist might see the owner manually counting flour bags or checking sales slips to figure out what to order. The plan might be simple. Connect their sales system or even just a basic spreadsheet to a simple alert tool. This tool watches sales, sees when flour stock drops below a certain point, and then automatically drafts an email to the supplier. Or just sends a text alert to the owner. Time to order flour. Okay, that's tangible.
It's a huge time saver. You could be looking at, 5, maybe 8 hours a week of admin just gone, handled by this simple alert. The system just works quietly in the background until the owner needs to know something. Saves mental energy too, not just time.
That's a brilliant, clear example. Okay, let's switch gears. What about a service business? Say, a small consultancy. Their repetitive tasks are different, more about communication, leads.
Exactly. Flour bags aren't the issue there. It's managing client relationships, following up on potential leads. That takes time.
So what gets automated?
For the consultancy, after a session, they might set up automation around lead nurturing. Imagine someone downloads a guide from their website. The AI can automatically log that person in their CRM system, send a quick thank you email, and here's the clever bit. Schedule a personalized follow-up email, maybe a week later, based on what that person seemed interested in.
So it keeps leads warm automatically.
Precisely. And that links straight to growth, right? It stops potential clients slipping through the cracks because someone forgot to follow up manually. We saw that quote from Dr. Rachel Harmon, the AI strategist. She said the real power for smaller businesses is automating the tasks that just steal hours and mental energy every week.
Right, the cognitive load she mentioned?
Yeah, freeing up the owner to actually think about strategy, talk to clients, build the business, not just chase paperwork or send reminder emails.
Makes sense.
And the beauty of these 30-minute plans is they're tailored. It's not some giant disruptive tech project. It's one or two small, specific changes designed for the quickest win, the fastest return for that particular business.
Okay, so we've covered the why AI is accessible now and the how this focused 30-minute session. Let's get to the bottom line for the listener. If I'm that busy owner, I invest this half hour. What do I actually walk out with? What are the concrete takeaways?
Good question. The immediate value.
Yeah, the sources were pretty specific on the deliverables.
Yeah.
First, you get recommendations that fit your business, your software, your specific needs. It's not generic stuff you could Google.
Right, maybe personalized.
Second, you get clarity. Which tasks are actually good candidates for automation? And importantly, which ones aren't? Which ones need that human touch? Helps avoid bad choices.
Absolutely key. Then, third, and this is the core promise you leave with an actual plan.
Yeah.
Step by step. Here's the tool, here's how to set it up, maybe even links to guides. It's a blueprint.
A real action plan.
A real action plan. And fourth, you understand the costs involved, the likely benefits like time saved, and any potential bumps in the road with those specific tools. Helps with budgeting and expectations.
Okay, that's a solid package for 30 minutes.
And this practical focus naturally leads into talking about doing it responsibly.
Yeah.
It's not just plug it in, it's plug it in the right way.
That's crucial. Because things like data privacy or worries about automating too much, they can sound like huge, complex corporate problems. How does a 30-minute chat make those relevant and manageable for, say, the local bakery owner?
It boils down to practical risk management for their scale. So, data privacy. The specialist won't give a legal lecture. They'll say, okay, for your customer emails, make sure you use tool X because it complies with local rules, or let's ensure customer data stays anonymous here. Or discuss where the data is actually stored if they have international clients. Practical stuff.
So translating big concerns into small, actionable steps.
Exactly. And on over-automation, the chat is about protecting relationships, making sure the automation helps, but doesn't replace essential human contact, like handling a complaint personally or making that important sales call.
Augmentation, not replacement.
That's the goal. This whole approach, practical, responsible, it tackles the uncertainty, that fear that often stops business owners from even starting. Having an expert answer their specific questions in plain language, That gives confidence. It speeds things up immensely.
And that really seems to be the core function of this whole 30-minute session format, doesn't it? It's designed to take something that sounds complex, maybe even intimidating, and turn it into clear, safe, doable steps for a small business. It feels like a really important piece in helping SMBs actually use these tools to compete, to free up their time for what really matters: growth, customers.
I think that's exactly right. As these AI tools get easier to use, get cheaper, the ability for SMBs to thrive really hinges on getting started with automation quickly and smartly. This kind of focused, short consultation is, well, it seems like a perfect way in. It cuts through the noise, gives you something tangible, tailored right away.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. If just 30 minutes could genuinely help you automate tasks that right now drain hours from your week, things like chasing invoices, juggling schedules, sending the same follow-up emails over and over. If you knew you could implement a fix for one of those things, reliably and safely, starting tomorrow, which task would you pick first? Because the sources suggest the cost of not looking into this accessible automation, that cost is getting pretty high pretty